welcome back to Gapey's greenhouse. We've been getting record amounts of rain for the last couple of weeks, which is good for getting seedlings acclimated, but not so great for working in. But this is what we have in the greenhouse so far that have been brought in from inside. This is the red romaine lettuce, and I also have one forellenchlis lettuce, if that's how you say it. And then we have a few different varieties of marigolds. And we have zinnias. These are, I think, 3 different varieties of zinnias that we have going here. And then over here we have kailan. I've started a lot of my spring starts a lot earlier, and I've already had a spring start sale. So I've sold almost everything. This one was started a little bit later, so it wasn't quite ready to sell. But it's probably just about ready now, so I might be selling those with some of my summer starts. And then we have some orange pansies. These are ones that I'm going to be putting in a container, maybe a hanging basket. And then I just put these out in the last couple of days. These are my melons, cucumbers, and squashes. And I might bring those inside because it's a little cool out here for them, and it doesn't look like they're doing that well out here. They're kind of yellow. So I'm going to wait until it warms up a little bit before I bring those back out in the greenhouse, maybe by Wednesday. And then we have our onions. These are 3 different varieties of onions, and I started these back in January, but they're not nearly as big as I would expect them to be. And they seem to be growing fine, but the roots are very thin and not very long, as I would normally expect, so they're not doing that great. And then I've got calendula and Egyptian spinach and a couple of different cabbages back here, and those are all just brought out in the last week. And then down here on the bottom shelf I have some columbines. There's a couple different varieties of those. And then I've got a powder puff aster. I grew 3 different varieties of aster, but those are the only ones that germinated. And then this is dwarf stalks, the first time growing that one. And then I have 3 comfrey starts here, and this is the first time I've tried growing that, and this is true comfrey. And then also a first time for me is fennel. I haven't grown fennel at all before. This is a bulbing variety. I have some non-bulbing variety in the Arrow Garden, if you've been watching those videos. And then this is edible chrysanthemum, and that's also a first time growing that one. It's also known by chop suey, or Japanese greens. It's got a few different names. And then some more flowers I have are Sweet Williams, dianthus, and I got a couple tomatoes out here as well. The only reason I brought these out is because they were getting some problems with the stem. I don't know if it's from damping off or something else, but I planted 3 of these in a larger container to bury some of the damaged stem, and I haven't repotted this one yet. Not sure if you can see it very well, but you can see the stem there is discoloring a little bit. It's kind of turning white. And I had this problem with most of my tomatoes last year, and I had to start over about 3 times. But this year the only variety I'm having that problem with is the aroma. So I brought them outside, so hopefully it doesn't spread to my other varieties. And then the only other starts I have in here are some of my leftover spring starts. These are going to be going to a friend that's out of town, so I'll be dropping those off probably this week, and hopefully she has good luck with those. But that's just a bunch of broccoli rabe and kale and a couple of pansies and some collards as well. And then actually in the greenhouse growing in the ground, I've got some onion patch here. I think these are Egyptian walking onions. And then this here is parsley that's just starting to go to flower. The flowers haven't opened yet, but there's lots of buds. And then we have some red chard. Not all of the stuff is overwintered from last year. And then I have several varieties of spinach growing here, and that is just starting to bolt, so I've kind of cut some of those down, but I've been harvesting a lot of those lately. And then we have lots of cilantro that's been growing up in here that I didn't plant, but just are volunteers. And then we have lots of mustard. The mustard has just gotten huge and it's all starting to bolt, but I've harvested quite a bit of that. This one is the biggest one here. You can see how big that leaf is. But I have, I think, 2 or 3 different varieties of mustard in here. And then you can't really see it, but there is a lot of cilantro growing way down in between them. But I've been harvesting these larger ones and giving them to the chickens because they're just getting too big and I need to start thinning these out and I can't really eat them fast enough. And then on the other side we have some more spinach. And the only thing I haven't overwintered is this radish. So I have 3 different varieties of radish growing in the greenhouse right now. This one is black radish. I also have some lettuce that overwintered and this huge kale. And the kale is finally just starting to flower. But I'm going to be pulling all this stuff out probably in the next month to make room for peppers. And then we have arugula. That was the first thing to bolt in the greenhouse, and I've been kind of tearing that one out and feeding that to the chickens. And then another radish variety I have going is watermelon radish. And I haven't grown that one before, but I'm really interested in seeing how that one comes out. I have some more volunteer kale back there. Oh, and I have some more chard back here too. There's a pink lipstick variety, and then I have a red one back there. And then more lettuce. And another variety of radish I have is Pink Beauty. I haven't grown that one before either. And then more lettuce. That's a salad bowl lettuce. And then that one back here is Winter Density. And these are just getting ready to bolt, so I really need to start harvesting these. I've harvested a few already, but I really need to get more done and eat more lettuce before they go to bolt. And then I have a yellow honeysuckle that I'm trying to root, and it doesn't look, I've had them in here for probably 4 weeks now, and it doesn't look like they're rooting very well, so I'm not sure. It doesn't look like they're dead yet, but I'm expecting more roots than that. But you can see it's still got some green, so it's not completely dead yet. But that's pretty much it. That's growing in the greenhouse. Thanks for watching, and I'm sure the next update I give, things will look a lot different. Talk to you guys again soon.